Some of the programs that are out there available for you, and these are what I call basically enticements, right? They're, here, you give them the soft sell and now you give them the hard sell, kind of thing. The first bullet, I put it at the first bullet because that was the bullet that got me into working for the DoD. I had a job that I was making $20,000 more a year than the job that I was being offered working for the Department of Defense. However, since it was such an area of need, they have a student loan repayment program that I signed basically a work contract with them. I would work for them for 4 years, and they would pay off my student loans. So I give up 4 years of my life, and now I don't have to pay student loans for the next 20 years, or however long people are paying off student loans for these days. That was enough for me. That's all I needed to hear. Because at the time I had I want to say I had like $35,000 to $40,000 in student loans, and I signed up, did my 4 years. I stayed a lot longer, but still, at the end of those 4 years, now I am student loan debt free. There are apprenticeships programs and internship programs that pretty much every agency offers. You just kind of have to go out and search for them. They're on a website called USA Jobs. You can go out there and do search just for all internships that are being advertised across the country and around the world. If you're currently a college student, for instance, and you're looking for a summer intern job, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get experience while you're still in school before you get your degree. Get to know that organization, get to know the people and the personalities within that organization. So then, a year later, or, a year and a half later, when you graduate, that supervisor is going to remember you. You did a good job, during your summer internships. And remember, since, I don't have all the rules about hiring in this particular field, I can do direct hires. I can just post a job and have you apply, and then just directly hire you into that position, because I already know you and how you work and everything else. Right. So, and they're all advertised on the website, USA Jobs. I think it's usajobs.com. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, lots of internships and apprenticeships out there for you to take advantage of. Public service loan forgiveness. It's kind of similar to the student loan forgiveness program. The only difference between the two is the student loan forgiveness program is directly targeted kind of in specific areas. It's kind of targeted in a niche area. Whereas the public service loan forgiveness, a little bit different, but it includes all public service, right? So you don't have to just work for the Department of Defense. You can work for any of the public service agencies, any of those federal agencies, and they will, you'll have to work a certain amount of time, but after that time is expired, all of your loans will be forgiven. Very flexible work schedules and telework schedules. The one thing, right, that you can always count on as a federal employee is you will always have plenty of time off. Now, some people say that's because you can never take time off, right? But they kind of do make you take time off every now and again. But you accrue leave time so fast that you'll always have plenty of time on paid time off, and there is a renewed push on the work-life balance within the executive branch, where a decade ago, when I was working, it was not uncommon for me to work 75 hours a week and still bring home work. Where now they're they're much more sensitive to that, right? They don't want you necessarily have to work that long, and your supervisors will ask you, I still do it to this day with my staff, right? I everyone on my staff at least once a week, right? How their home life is going. Is everything okay? Is there anything that we can do for them to make sure that, you know, work and life are in balance? And that is one of the things, especially now within the executive branch, that they have become very sensitive to. Whereas the the private sector has kind of flipped back the other way, right? Where it used to be, I would take a private sector job if I wanted, you know, 2 weeks vacation every year and you know, only have to work a 40-hour work week or whatever. Now it's kind of flipped itself, where the public sector inside the government is more like that. Now the private sector working a lot more and a lot longer hours. The fitness and wellness program is one of those that came in late, right? About 4 years after I got into the government, but I figured I'd toss it in there for you, just in case you wanted to know, because I definitely took advantage of it. Basically, what they did is they figured out that you know, federal employees were very stagnant. They sat all day in front of a computer, you know, pounding away at code and stuff. And so they said, okay, we got to get these people up and stop being so sedentary. So 45 minutes of every day, you are paid to go exercise. So I'll say that one more time. 45 minutes of every day, you are paid to get up out of your seat and go exercise, whether it's go walk, go run, or whatever. Most organizations have a gym right there, you know, either on base or in their building. And you know, every day I took full advantage of that. That was part of my 7-hour day, right? You know, of those 7 hours, 45 minutes was they're paying me to go exercise, right? And that, again, is not something you're going to find in very many places in the private sector, because, you know, to them, you know, to a lot of organizations, why am I going to pay you to go play in the weight room? I need you doing my job. And you know, the federal government and the DoD said, no, we need our people to be mentally strong and physically fit. So we're going to pay them for 45 minutes every day to go get some exercise and better their mind, body, and spirit. So, you know, you put all of that together, that is a pretty good, as far as, you know, I guess as far as I'm concerned, that's a pretty good set of benefits. And I, you know, didn't even walk through, for instance, the health and dental and life and everything. But, you know, those things are very, you know, kind of very vanilla. They're the same as that you'll find in a lot of the private, the private sector spaces with, you know, vision and health and dental, things like that. The level of benefit has, you know, all things being equal, right? You know, to tell the truth, it's leveled out quite a bit over the last 10 years. It used to be, right, you know, if you had government health insurance, you had the absolute best that you were going to get, because it was a plan that they would only sell to the government. Whereas now, right, it's kind of evened itself out. You know, it's not as wonderful, for instance, as elsewhere, but, you know, just kind of take that with a little bit of a, you know, grain of salt. You know, the benefits are still outstanding. You know, you'll have your retirement plan and you know, things like that. But a lot of them are kind of on par with what you're going to find out there in the private sector.